Hi, parents and guardians of Math 7 students at Olympia. I have this video that is going to be created to help you to see a little bit more about Google Classroom. So since that is the primary platform where students will be receiving their videos and their assignments for classes, for math at least, it is the first place that things will be graded. And then things will be transferred into Infinite Campus. So the titles of the things will be the same, but the most current for math to find grades would be in Google Classroom. So I want to show you what it looks like on my end, and I also want to show you what it looks like on a student end, so that you at home are able to monitor that and kind of help your son or daughter to navigate and stay on top of their assignments. So some things that I first want to show are that our class page has a stream. I try to keep it as simple as possible. This is a really important video for students to know how to do, and I think every student pretty much knows how to do this at this point, submitting a PDF in Google Classroom. So it's one of the essential things to be able to complete any assignments. And then our class meeting link is there, and it's also found up here. This is when the class meets. You can see in the upcoming window, this is all of the assignments that are upcoming. And so under the classwork tab, this is how I've organized it for the class. There's weekly outlines here. So for example, last week, if you wanted to look and see what the weekly assignments for this class would be, this is posted ahead of time. On Monday, there's a link to our meet. Tuesday, they also meet on the meet. If they're all virtual, if they come in person one of those days, of course, they're not going to log into the meet because they're here. The learning target for the day, the assignments, topics 5 and 6 on Monday, topic 7, and then some Kahoot practice on Tuesday. Due dates are also posted there on the bottom. Wednesday is usually a finish up your work day, and if a student is completely caught up with their work, they should be working on iReady. They have a diagnostic to do in the beginning, middle, and end of the year to track progress and improvement in math class. Okay, so that is the weekly outlines. So it'll say the dates right on the top, week 3. We are in week 4 right now, but that's where those can be found. They have their own area in their math classroom. Now, week 4, the 5th to the 7th, it's the 6th when I'm making this video, so this is the current week that we're in. The due dates are listed for your child to see. It should say October 7th by the end of the night. I just put it by the end of the night, so I don't expect students to be up that late working on schoolwork, but to keep it simple, at any point on a Wednesday, they can hand it in and be done. On my end of it, I can quickly see some kids turned this in this morning during first period. This is now second period when I'm planning. Assigned. So assigned means there's still 10 students who haven't pressed the turn in button. It could mean that they've started typing it and almost are complete, but they just haven't completely finished it yet. And that's on my end of it. I just wanted you to see that. It's not, I will go over what it looks like from your child's side. These are the ways that all the weeks are grouped. It'll say the week number and the dates. So last week, the students in this section were expected to be doing math on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the 28th, 29th, and 30th, and these were the assignments for the week. So there were 3 topics we covered: topic 5, topic 6, and topic 7. Anything that says Edpuzzle is a notes video. Edpuzzle allows me to take YouTube videos that I've made and track how students are watching them. So if they've completely watched every last bit of the video, which they're usually between 6 to 10 minutes long, they get 10 points out of 10 points. So as you can see last week, pretty much every student completed that and got a grade back. Now, if they didn't complete it, that grade might be a 0 out of 10. For notes, it's either going to be 10 out of 10 or 0 out of 10. I really want to, encourage the fact that watching notes is essential in this class, especially because you're only in this classroom, if you're a physical student, 1 day a week for math. You're in the building 2 days a week, but you only have math 1 of those. So it's extremely important, and also it helps with absences. If your student ever is missing from school or sick, they have access to notes videos that take the place of the time that they were in the classroom. If you're a purely virtual student, you're entirely watching Edpuzzle videos, and then you're asking questions during our Google Meet time periodically if you have them. Everything should be perfectly matched up. Math 7, Unit 1, Topic 5, Unit 1, Topic 5 practice problems. So this is where students may choose to work this out in their math notebook or scrap paper. However, they need to make sure that when they have finished the page, they are going to type in their final answers using the Kami tool. So on our stream, that's what this video was going over. It was going over how to write on their PDF. It's super seamless and easy with a Chromebook. It's just a matter of, just learning it, and I think pretty much every kid has mastered that. So I'm not really worried about that, but, if you as a parent just want to see, that's a 4-minute video that I made about how to do that. So obviously, the notes must be watched first. If students are submitting work for a topic that they haven't watched the Edpuzzle for yet, chances are 99% of the time it's wrong. And I'm writing a comment back to the student in that document that says, please go back and watch the Edpuzzle. Please go back and watch the Topic 5 notes video. So if you're seeing that word Edpuzzle, it is a notes video. It's essential, and it's graded. And then the practice problems are also graded. I put everything out of 10 points, so every assignment is out of 10 to keep it simple. When we have a quiz or an assessment at some point, that will be the only thing that will be out of more than 10 points. So hopefully that makes it clear how things are kind of organized. The due dates are there. And then I'm going to go switch over right now to what it looks like on the student end of it. So obviously I can't log into a student's account, but here is how you would check your grades in Google Classroom. So if your child goes into our math Google Classroom page that I just had up here, and they click their classwork tab, so that's the first thing you do. Number one thing you do is click the classwork tab. And then in the top left-hand corner, there should be a button that says View Your Work. When the child clicks View Your Work, they will see their name and a grade overall. And so pretty much the left-hand column is going to be the names of the assignments of things that have been assigned to them. And the middle column is the date that it was due. And the right-hand column is where you're going to get the most information. All different things are going to be listed here, depending on where the child is in their completion process. So if it says assigned, you haven't done it, or maybe you've done it, but you never pressed the turn in button. When you're writing on something with the Kami tool, it will save your progress. So if you get halfway through an assignment and you click the little save thing, you haven't turned it in, but you're in the midst of it. So if it says assigned, that means the deadline also hasn't passed. So for right now, everybody in this class that has things due on the 7th, it should say assigned for you. I made this up as a sample just to be able to go over the different things you could see in the right column. If it says missing, that's pretty much the same thing. You also haven't done it, but the difference would be is just that the deadline has passed. So like right here, this isn't accurate. I made up the date October 7th because that is when that's actually due, but I'm making this video on the 6th, so it should just still say assigned. But if you see anything that says assigned or missing, the idea is those need to be completed, and you have to press the turn in button as well in Google Classroom. If it says that it's been turned in, like this one right here, Edpuzzle, Math 7, Unit 1, Topic 8, turned in, that means the student must have watched the Edpuzzle and pressed the turn in button. It is possible for a student to press turned in on an Edpuzzle and not have actually watched it, but I will return a score of 0 if that's the case, because I will check. So make sure you're only pressing turn in if you've actually watched the Edpuzzle. But if you press turned in, that just means I haven't gotten a chance to grade it yet. So a grade should be coming back to you soon. And then the last thing is if you see a grade, so for example, right here, there's one graded thing on this fake example that I made up, 9 out of 10. That is where that grade of 90% is coming from. Now, the thing that I wrote in red on this little cheat sheet for you is that if the grade is going to show only the average of what has been graded. So if there are missing things, those are eventually going to turn to 0 and your grade will drop. So if everything has been turned in and graded, then you can trust that the grade is exactly accurate. If you have a lot of things missing, you got to keep in mind those will be zeros soon. And the last thing that I just wanted to mention is that you can turn in late work and you can make corrections to things as long as it is still in the current unit. So for example, since we are in Unit 1 right now, anything that was old or late in Unit 1, you can fix or submit late. But when we begin Unit 2, at that point, you can no longer do old work from Unit 1 or make corrections for Unit 1. And that's a really, really important thing to know from the standpoint of being a student and also from being a parent. The Unit 1 is already going on for about 4 weeks, and that's a long time. So I think from a teacher standpoint, you can keep track of 4 weeks worth of grades, but you have to cut it off at a certain point. Otherwise, it would carry on throughout the whole quarter, and 10 weeks worth of work all being submitted electronically is just too much to manage. So I just want students to understand it's not for any other reason really than that. We have to kind of keep things organized and make a cutoff at a certain point. So hopefully that has clarified some things for you and let you kind of see what it looks like on my end for math. There may be some other teachers who don't do a lot of grading in Google Classroom. I do, for the nature of the fact that there's practice problems for every topic and they're being posted there. It's easiest for me to grade it there. And then once we're about a week behind, I'll update a full week's worth of things in Infinite Campus. So the most up-to-date way to find the child's grades would be classwork and view your work on Google Classroom. Please feel free to email me, vanessa.love-mccarthy@reesecsd.org. If you have any questions at all, I've had a lot of emails, also emails, phone calls, just kind of clarifying little things, and hopefully this helps. Okay, so thank you so much, and I hope it's a good year.